But even still, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to game number 1 between DmWp versus Anime versus CaringForTheWashed for the RD2L EU Season 24 semi-finals for Division 2. And as we see, the draft's already been underway, and Sand King is actually the first pickup here for Team Anime. Not normally a hero that you see picked up in the first phase. It doesn't even look like it's been one of their most favoured heroes so far throughout this league. Not even on their most picked. Has been grabbed a few times from CaringForTheWashed though, so it could have been like a sort of counter pick at the same time. Meanwhile though, the Washed do actually decide to go for Necrophos and Grimstroke as their opening 2 heroes, which in himself, it's a pretty decent combo. You could get the Soulbind off, then you get the double Reaper Scythe. So just huge value out of that long cooldown ultimate to just, yeah, create a plus nearly 2 minutes of death time or something like that. It's really ridiculous. So if they can actually pull that combo off, it's going to be damn well potent. But again, it's not really the easiest combo to do, because both the 2 targets have to be quite low at the same time. I think you need some more heroes to actually get some value with their Soulbind to just guarantee that they're on low HP for that Reaper Scythe to do. Which would just be really effective. Snapfire, though, was picked up there from Anime. So that is probably going to be one of their supports. It has been played a few times as a mid-hero, sometimes even position 3. A bit more rare for that role, but I think it's much more likely to just be a support. It's even like a 4 or the 5. It does lane quite well, actually, with the Sand King in the off lane, because you get Burrow Strike with Cookie as well, Scatter Blast on top. It's a lot of control, it's a lot of damage, especially if it's in a Sandstorm. There's a very potent lane to actually go up against. So we'll see what CaringForTheWashed are actually going to pick in response to seeing these 2 heroes. We just don't know as of yet. Looks like a varied mix of position 1s and mids being banned out here. Tia obviously always used to be just a mid lane hero, but just gets grabbed more as a position 1, I think. I don't really see her as a mid lane hero anymore. She's definitely just been moved over to that hard carry role. I do actually also decide to take out the Ancient Apparition, which is pretty safe. It's a strong counter versus the Necro, just denies him from regenerating at all. And obviously getting amplified damage if it's hit in the Ghost Shroud. So definitely a worthwhile ban there. We'll see what they're going to pick up third. It will probably be their second support, be it the 5 or 4, completely dependent on who's actually going to be playing this Grimstroke. Okay, they actually decided to go for the Hood. But again, it's not too clear about who's playing who, like which role, you know? Like, I always normally play the Hoodwink as a 4, but a lot of people do still like to play it as a position 5. So, yeah, it could go in either one of those 2 positions as of yet. We will just have to wait and see how the rest of the draft unfolds. Maybe see if there's any clear like lane combos that go well with these 2 heroes. Anime going to be picking up their next 2 heroes before that happens, though. First up is actually going to be a Jug. So again, it's actually a pretty good combo with the Snapfire in the lane. So really, this Snap feels quite comfortable going as the 4 or the 5 so far. And I think in that respect, it's better just being a 5, as you don't actually need any items to be effective in team fights or just, you know, ganking through lanes and such. You just need levels. As soon as you get your 6, the Mortal's Kiss is doing so much damage from afar. There's the Cookie, helps get like the Juggernaut on top of people. Yeah, I think it's pretty comfortable 5. Maybe they can actually grab a Rubik? Maybe? Would it be pretty good? There's some really good spells to steal here. Bushwhack, Sharpshooter is amazing to steal. Pretty much a vast majority of the Grimstroke spells are good, as well as Reaper Scythe from the Necro. So I don't know if the Rubik is actually in the wheelhouse here of the position 4 for a DmWp versus Anime. I just don't know. They actually decided to go for a Dazzle. Okay. So I guess that is going to be a position 4 Snapfire then. You don't really see 4 Dazzles. I was forced to play a 4 Dazzle last week because someone decided to swap roles the last second. It was quite stupid. And 4 Dazzle does feel quite redundant. It's not too great. So yeah, I imagine it is just going to be the Dazzle and the Jug in the safe lane. Which again, it does quite work. The Poison Touch slow, allowing the Jug to just keep that spin on top of someone and just guarantee all the damage. Normally, when you have a dazzle lane, it's really, really nice to play with a carry or someone who has a slow themselves, because it just allows the dazzle to get more right clicks off with the poison touch, which then just amplifies the slow even more and more until the person's just down to a crawl and they're taking so much damage from the dot. It's very obnoxious to lane up against. So yeah, kind of interested to see it come out. But, you know, it's always good to have at least like one defensive support, right? Someone that can just bail out your heroes if they get caught in an awkward position. Actually, Slardar gets grabbed here. So I think I think Hoodwink works really well with the Slardar. Like the Bushwhack is an easy setup for the Slardar to get on top of someone to follow up with the Basher deep and then the Crush. But I mean, if they wanted to, it still works well with the Grimstroke, because you could just surge straight on forwards, get those first few bashes off, and be a real nuisance as well. But I think I prefer the Hoodwink to be the 4 in this certain sort of setup. Now the final set of bans going to be coming out here. Anime looking like they're just after their mid laner, and Washed after the carry themselves. So Anime just going to be banning all those position 1s. PL already being removed. Or Ember gets taken out there. Bat Rider's the most picked mid from Anime, but obviously that was banned straight away. Razor's also up there. I don't know if this has been a mid Razor or a carry Razor though. So it might not be... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to ban that or not. Maybe they might have the information if it is going to be a mid-core or something like that. Pugner's also been picked up a few times from Anime. Could be maybe a worthwhile ban there for Washed. Or you just go for like the standard one, or like a Void Spirit or a Storm Spirit, something like that. Actually, you decide to remove the Puck. Which, actually, yeah, it makes perfect sense, because you've got a really nice set of like Dream Coil into the Mortimer's Kisses. Pretty much guarantees everyone to get hit by that. As well, also just denying an extra bit of teamfight utility. Which, at the moment, Anime... Yeah, I mean, they've got a decent amount so far, to be honest. They've got Epicenter, Burrow into Mortimer's Kisses, and then the Jug just obviously running around right-clicking in between. And Wash just trying to go for that big combo of Soulbind into Reaper's Scythe. See how that ends up panning out. But Lone Druid is actually picked up here from Anime. I think that's a Mash hero. Is Mash the mid laner for Anime? I can't actually remember, to be honest with you. There's like something in the back of my mind, but I think I've seen Mash play Lone Druid before, so that might be what they're going for. That'll be their mid laner. He's pretty strong. Especially now that like the bracers double at 25 minutes, right? Because you could get a couple of bracers on your bear to start, just amplify its effects, and eventually when the bear just starts accumulate items faster and faster, you could chuck those upgraded bracers back into your hero just for a little bit of extra efficiency. It does work quite well. But Ursa's actually to pick up here for Caring for the Washed. So it's able to deal a fair bit of damage to the Sand-King lane, as long as if there's ample supply of sentry wards to make sure that they're always out of position. All right, I'll do your poll now, Rinku. Did I just do the same poll? New poll. Ah, damn it! I have to retype it. How annoying is that? I'll just do like Radiant and Die. That'd be easier. I'll do a 3-minute poll this time rather than 5s. Boom. Start. Polls in. Send in your results. But looking at this, I think, in my opinion, I'm liking the tempo that Caring for the Washed could actually bring out here. Like, these heroes can come online pretty early if they itemize for it. And sort of likewise actually on Anime. Maybe the Lone Druid is a tiny bit slower. All depends on how Mash's lane actually ends up going here. We'll just have to wait and see. I might actually need to quickly restart Dota, because for some reason I've only got like 50 FPS. So I'm going to quickly restart. Hopefully I won't end up missing anything before the real joy of the game begins. We'll load on in. He dropped the face palm. Oh, Rinka, did you sub? It didn't notify me that you subbed. What? Didn't sub. I thought like Twitch was saying only subs can use those emotes until 60 days. Oh, well you can use them anyway. Ah, right, the points. Easy peasy, man. Easy peasy. Alright. But here we are. I am in. Let's just set it on to free camera so I'm not flying around like a useless sack of crap. But anyway, we are in game number 1 between DmWpAnime, or DmWp, sorry, v-anime, versus CaringForTheWashed for the RD2L EU Season 24 Sunday Division 2 semi-finals. Whoever ends up taking this series will guarantee their spot in the grand finals. So it's all to play for here. And no sort of safety net of the lower brackets to fall back down to. If you lose, you're gone. Tough titties, goodbye. And already, Anime just dumping all of these banners in front of the enemy mid-tier 1. A bit of psychological warfare already underway.
As pressure builds, the stalwart remain true.
It looks like Wash did actually go for an aggressive move into the Radiant jungle there, but unfortunately for them, not a single member of Anime in the vicinity. They're all completely up towards the top part of the rune, which is pretty standard. You know, Radiant normally secure these top 2 runes, and then Dire always get the bottom ones. That's going to happen again. Plenty of high fives coming out. Good way to start the game. Extra friendly. It looks like actually Anime have done a little lane swap, have they? Or is Panda just going to TP down to the bot lane? Okay, he will just TP. I thought maybe he might have been staying up towards the top. I just don't know. So everyone's... Well, we got 2 votes. Go for the Radiant that's actually going to take this game. I mean, yeah, I think when it comes down to actually 5-on-5 fights, their draft is a bit easier to execute. But if the laning phase goes quite well for the Wash, it can be a death ball sort of lineup. So we'll just have to see how it goes out. And already, actually, the Wash have got 2 of their supports still here. That Chupacabra does not want to hang about and wait for any sort of potential first blood. We'll just go back up top to help the Grim, as he's actually already getting bullied out a little bit here from Regotard as well as DM. Taken down pretty damn low. We'll see how High Sakura does, though, versus Mash in this mid lane. Some crazy new particle effects there for the skills. All these things getting changed in the patch. I don't think there's an item. Is there an item for that, actually? It might have been. I don't know. I'm not too cued in when it comes to Lone Druid cosmetics. I feel like this is a pretty good lane though for the Washed, right? Like you got the decent physical damage pierce of the stun for the Jug, even if it goes for the spin, so he can't just go for like a safe spin TP out. Always going to be on his toes with that one. He's actually using his spin aggressively here. If he's not careful, they can get turned on. Actually, no. Limbo and NFD still level 1. Well, actually, they are level 2 now. And there's obviously a long old cooldown for that level 1 Blade Fury. So if he steps out of position, yeah, this could be it. Easy first one, perhaps. 1 more hit's all they're going to need, and down goes Panda. And that is where you've got to be careful. You can't really just pop that spin willy-nilly. I think you just have to wait until you see a bushwhack coming for you. And that's the only time you can actually safely use spin. Otherwise, you may well just die every single time. Because Jug early levels, pretty squishy hero. Oh, and it is an item? Okay. Yeah, I've never really been... I think I've played Lone Druid twice in the entirety of my time playing Dota 2. So I haven't got a clue when it comes to the cosmetics for this guy. But it's good to you let me know. It's handy. Oh, actually, up top, DM, maybe going to get caught here. The Inkswell does get a connection, so he is stunned up. Try and run away, but not going to actually be enough to get on top of him. Meanwhile, down at the bot lane, Bats Femi dropping this time as NFD and Limbo once again claiming a kill in this offlane.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I mean, Batsfimi, he really needs that level 3. That's the big power spike for a Dazzle when he's very, very difficult to lane up against. You get 2 points into that poison touch, and you could just run people down so easily. Like, the damage and the slow, very, very difficult to deal with. Especially if Panda gets involved with his own spin. So that's probably what we're waiting for. Just needs to soak up as much XP as possible. Actually, I look away, and up top, DM getting the kill at the top lane, but Grim might be able to get a retaliation one here. He's trying to find the snap fight in the trees, duking in and out as best she possibly can. She will now get found. Oh, and turns around to just get whacked in the face. So it does actually end up being a 1-for-1 trade, but definitely going to be favorable there towards Grim as he gets solo gold and experience for that kill. So yeah, not really too concerned about losing his position 5. Especially the fact that now he gets an instant courier to bring his items in for him. Very, very nice. Once again, I look away. Down bottom, Batsfimi drops yet again. Still not actually on his level 3. Look at this. Limby just charging at Panda. Just going for the bashes. He does obviously still have to spin if he wants to. The Bushwhack, I think, maybe got chucked out a tiny bit early. If you waited for that bash, that could have been a guaranteed kill, but... You know, it's hard to tell sometimes. Maybe Kokotard, he will die in the top lane. Just these 2 side lanes getting so much action. And it's all in the favor of the Washed so far. 1 and 5, a solid 1k gold lead. And this is the start that I was saying that they would need to become a real dominant force in this game. DM might just get caught as well. Now, going to be forced to cookie away. The only lane that is a draw so far is this mid. 29 and 6 to High Securus. And 21 and 3 as Sham. So actually, just a slight lead for the Necrophos at this point. I'm sure probably some of these CS are the small creep camp, though, off to the side. So it's not like it's going to be a huge amount of gold difference. Oh, I say that. And it's actually 600 gold. Damn. That's a fair chunk only 5 minutes into the game. That's a really big chunk. Actually, even just moving into the Radiant jungle to start taking out the big camps. Because why the hell not? All 3 cores on the side of the Wash at the top of the net worth. And it looks like Grim's going to get another kill on top of that. Oh, this is looking really, really bleak here for Anime. Just every lane is not going well. And what can they really do to turn this tide around? I mean, a Lone Druid is not really a ganking hero, to be honest. And it looks like actually High Security uses Reaper side to get a kill onto the bear. Just extra gold. Yeah, why the hell not? 900 gold now on top of the Lone Druid. And down bottom, it looks like they finally get a return kill. Limbu does drop there to Panda, and the Shallow Grave saving the Jug's life in response. So there's a glimmer of light.
Forget this.
They do get something out of this laner phase. Oh, he might just end up dying here. Gets held into the side, Acorn to the face. Very unfortunately, he does end up dropping down. And meanwhile, at the top, DmWp once again dropping another kill for Grim. Does Reapers give you the regen from a bear kill? I would imagine so, because I think it is sort of classed as a hero, right? You could pick up runes with it. You can you can get items, pick up runes and such. So fucking hell. Fuck. It's a fucking fly in my face. Right, it's gone. I just got fucking bombed in the face by a fly. Yeah, so it does give him the big regen, which is very, very nice. Still 8 and 2 in the favour of the Washed. That's not a time to facepalm, Rinku. So yeah, despite the fact that the CS isn't too hot for the Wash, they are still pulling out ahead. I think that's sort of been the slight redeeming factor here for Anime so far, is that their CS isn't too bad. Keeping them level for now. Rogtar just resulting to now cutting the creep waves. It looks like Grim's even going to come and get involved to maybe push away, and Rogtar just goes to the safe TP out. Does not want to get wrapped on and caught out. A very wise choice of play there. Meanwhile, down bottom, it looks like they're on the hunt for maybe a kill yet again at this bot lane. Asfimi's got to be cautious. He doesn't get caught out from another bushwhack. Actually, man, NFD's nearly at level 6. Only 8 minutes in. 1 creep away. And that sharpshooter is going to be super deadly in this lane. He does actually know. He could just get this kill onto Panda. But actually, 2 supports are here. Then maybe they're going to try and turn this around. In comes the bushwhack, locked in place. There's the stun. The cookie just throws the juggernaut into the sharpshooter. He gets deleted, and now both these supports, they gotta run their hell out of here. Limbu's on the chase. That bash just annihilating the poor old Dazzle. And WP, he's a goner as well. 3 deaths there for Anime. Not getting anything out of it. Oh dear. This is not looking good here for Anime. And affiliates up, Jammy. Cheers, bro. There's some random emotes and stuff that I've made as well, which hopefully get used at some point. But in the mid, High Sakura's getting a kill onto Sham as well there with the rotation from Chupacabra. 2 and 12. Oh, this is rough. This is so rough. What can they do? They got to start turning something around. Maybe another kill. Blasphemy's caught on the bot. Another kill there. Limbo on a killing spree. 4-1 and 4 for him. 4-0 and 4 for NFD. 1-0 and 0 there for High Sakuras, and 4-0 and 0 for Grim. 5 kills now. This is absolutely disgusting. Just all of these kills, man. Really disgusting stuff. Oh, looks like they've even found another kill onto Panda. It spins on cooldown. The 2 supports might just be able to pick off the Juggernaut. It's actually going to go for an Omni Slash. Gets pulled on screens for all 3 of them. Easily going to be able to share the damage. And down it goes. But Sham, Mash is trying to get a return kill. He does manage to find Chupacabra. TB coming in as well from the Sand King. But he might just end up dying. But he does end up finding it. He counted hard as well. He's going to get turned on maybe. Limbu's dropping pretty low as Batsfimi comes in to help. But it doesn't matter. He will still drop. And cheers for the sub as well, Jammy man. I appreciate that, dude. First one up. The fight doesn't even end. Batsfimi, he's getting low. One more right click. NFD's on the hunt. Can he actually get the time? He does have any mana to use his skills, so he's not going to be able to find that one. High Sakuras, though, does actually pick off DmWP. Just absolute madness going on here, man. Chaos left, right, and center. Oh, he still found him. He actually still found him. NFD, the unrelenting chase, picking him off. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now, maybe not this. Oh, the Inkswell wanted the creep. Does get a little stun, but it was only a short duration. Goku's trying to juke the trees. The Reaper Cypher's up. Can he get it? He does. He's a goner. Another kill. 4 for 19. 5,000 gold lead at 10 minutes 40 in. It's just, this is what I'm saying. It's just pure death ball. It's just non-stop fight coming out here from the Washed. And now with the help of the catapult, they're trying to pressure in this tier 1 tower. They will glyph it. There's a few heroes as well from Anime in the vicinity to try and defend, but it's a really difficult one to go for. So hard. Even just the supports on the side of the Wash are so over leveled right now. And what's the hero level? Yeah, look at that. It's literally just Sham up there. All the supports are actually over leveling the offlaner and carry on the side of Anime. They're actually now going to go for another smoke move here. Let's see what they can get. Both the 2 supports huddling by the tier 1 tower in the trees. They don't actually have vision of this. They don't realize they're both there. But the bushwhack doesn't actually land. But the bear from Mash just charged the NFT. Actually, a Soulbind comes out. Double silence. No actual Reaper Scythe though to get the big whack off. Morma's Kiss as well, trying to push High Sakura back, but out comes the Shallow Grave in the nick of time to save his own life. And maybe we're able to get a return kill High Sakura, but no, never mind. In comes the other 2 cores. They annihilate Mash. WP trying to retreat. Gurkha though gets a good double Burrow Strike off, but the Reaper Scythe committed onto the Snapfire to guarantee the kill. It's another 2 deaths. All 5 heroes here from the Washed in the mid lane. And they're probably going to end up finishing off this tier 1 tower. And there are still a couple of heroes from Anime here, but I don't think there's anything they can do about it. Maybe, yeah, Batsfimi, he overstayed his welcome. He gets annihilated. It's just non-stop fighting and killing. Are they just going to Roche that? They could easily go Roche. Like, they're all so over-leveled right now, especially with Corrosive Haze on top, the armor reduction. Yeah, even just removing the Lincolns as well. This is a goner. No chance for Anime to respond. Super rough game. But yeah, I don't know if you heard, but I did make a few audio cues there when you subbed up, Jammy. Hopefully you heard. There was a lot going on when it happened, unfortunately. And FD, he does actually get bumped into Batsumi, chucks the poison touch on him, turns around there for the shackle, but they can't actually engage, they just have to retreat. Ah, you didn't hear? Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, I hope it actually did play, because obviously I only set this up like four hours ago, and I may very well fucked it up. I did several tests, so hopefully it did work. Oh, Panda. Getting run out here. He does manage to get the spin off, so he will be safe. Out comes the Soulbind, locking them both in. Is there any other sort of follow-up? There isn't for now. The Sharpshooter landing onto the Sham, as well as the Stroke of Fate. Grim going into the backlines, focused onto the sports. He managed to get the Shadow Cradle back to me, will still die. NFD getting focused up from the Woman's Kisses. He's a goner. Reaper's Life got dropped onto Mash, but did actually end up dying for it. They got the return kill onto High Securus. This is actually not too bad if Anime, if they can retreat without losing anybody else. This is a pretty good fight, but I don't think Grim's going to let it happen. Panda, he's running as fast as he can. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Another jump in just a second from the Grim. The Jug's dead. Limbu's diving underneath the tier 2 here for Mash, but he's not going to be able to find it. He does actually end up dying. So it's a 3-for-3 trade, but even as a result of that, it's a much more favorable gold exchange there for Anime. So I don't think they're too sad about it whatsoever. Actually, maybe not even done yet. The bear getting ran out. They actually use Shallow Grave and the cookie to keep it alive. The Grim still having this Aegis, so not even too afraid about just carrying on charging forwards. Going on to the Dazzle. Couple of hits is all he needs. 1, 2, down he goes. Oh, Mash actually getting involved with his ultimate. Maybe getting too aggressive here. He's still got the ghost on him, so can't cast any other spells. Meanwhile, Panda into the backlines, picks off Chupacabra.
I'll take that as tribute.
It's just not stop fighting this game, though. Once again, WP, oh, he cookies too early. He just gets picked off. Over beyond godlike spree now for Grim. 11-0 on this guy. And they found a grab onto Panda. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Oh my days. 8-28 at 15 minutes in. 36 kills at 15 minutes. That's like a kill every 25 seconds, if my mathematics is somewhere near accurate. Which is bonkers. Absolute bonkers. And now tier 2 push coming out here. Can the Wash actually get it? The glyph does kill the catapult. They're still going to kind of push forwards. Oh, it did play? Oh, that's good. That's very good. Ooh, bushwhack. It lands on the Sham in the backlines. Limbu getting targeted up by the bear. Has to just retreat. Cookie forwards. They're trying to get this kill into Stardom. Almost gets as well. They will actually be able to find it. Out comes the top one though. They get the grab onto the Lone Druid as well as the Dazzle, but no one can actually get on top of him. Meanwhile, Grim's going straight into the backlines. Will just to remove the Snapfire, but he's all alone. His first life's probably about to be over here. Is there going to be any support from the rest of his team? They're relatively far away. And High Securus, he's not even here. He's in the jungle farming. He's completely separated. And down he goes. This could actually be the first big mistake here from the Washed. Chupacabra juking himself out in the trees to try and survive, but there's too many people around him. He will still die. So it actually ends up being a 4-for-1. Hugely successful fight coming out there from Anime. 2.7k swing in total. But even with that, it's still a 5,000 gold advantage. I'm not quite sure about why High Securus wasn't with his team there. Quite interesting. Ah, you're on phone? That makes sense. I mean, you should be able to change quality right now, which is one of the main reasons why I decided to go for the affiliate. Makes it a bit easier for you, rather than chewing up all your data. But, as obviously it is relatively early in the game, respawn time is super low, so it looks like the Wash are going to be at it yet again. The Bushwhack does land on Panda, but nobody else actually around to capitalize on it. He should be. Actually, charge up the Sharpshooter. They're going to chuck out the Ghost. It lands, but again, not actually any other follow-up. And now just everyone else from Anime coming on into the triangle. Probably going to be able to get one of these 2 kills. Yeah, NFD slowed beyond belief, and he does get removed. Meanwhile, though, his Space Crate, it allowed his team to pick up the tier 1 at the top. So, not too bad of a trade. Double damage actually even at the top lane. There's a couple of pings out there from the Wash. Want to get that on top of Grim. Who, after having defused... Oh! Stun there from Gurgtar, trying to make sure he doesn't get it, but even still, Grim will still manage to pick it up. Everyone else is on top of him. Bear's there. Soul might actually get clicked onto the Bear. Will now latch onto Baxfemi. Mortal's Kiss as well. But Grim turn around aggressively. Wants to focus up onto the Dazzle if he can. One more hits, but the Shadow Grape is going to be there. He will be safe. And now the big turnaround. Rage has already been used. He's controlled to the end of the earth. And down goes Grim. It's another big kill there for Anime. And mass tipping onto him as well. Trying to go for that psychological warfare to help balance this game out a bit more.
A loss so small, the world will harden.
I mean, it's nearly 1,000 gold swing in itself, just getting that 1 kill in total. So maybe the Washed are getting a bit too overconfident here. Like, they are in the lead, but not so much they could start playing completely recklessly. And actually, another jump forward to NFD. He's going to end up dying. Limbu did get a nice stun onto a couple of them to hold him back, but just wasn't enough to save his support. And now they're mid-tier 1. It is gone. And this is the sort of action-packed game that we all like to see and come to watch. Just both of these two teams, so unrelenting. Fantastic stuff. Oh, but it doesn't matter. GG. The Wash are going to win. They've got Philly Stone. Instant free money for any support. Just so damn strong. Well, Grim trying to get on top of Gurgdot here. Going for the TP out. Is there any stop? Ah, Limbu. He actually went for the Corrosive Haste before using the stun. And unfortunately, that did actually give him the space. They dropped the Reaper Scythe onto the bear, but it's not actually enough damage to get the kill. Question mark gets dropped by Mash. Or the BM. And as immediately everyone from the Wash has to disengage. I mean, they can still play quite aggressively without having this ultimate, but it's a pretty big part of their kill factor. Down for 90 seconds. E-Blade actually finished up a high score to get a bit of extra magical damage burst. I think the Slardar should get a shard. I can't remember what the shard does for Slardar. What is it? Increases the crush radius, causes it by Corrosive Haze for a short time. Yeah, that's pretty legit. Oh. Burrow Strike used with Epicenter. Guaranteed kill onto Limbu yet again. So it's like Anime, they're not recovering in farm-wise in terms of, like, you know, actually gaining loads of CS across the map, but they are making very effective pickoffs and just keeping the momentum on the side of the Washed at bay for as long as possible. And that has actually given Panda some decent time. He's second in net worth now, over the top of Grim. It's just really High Sakuras who is a big factor of this net worth differential. Oh yeah, definitely good against the SK actually. Applying the Corrosive Haze, just instant detection. Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Masterful mark.
It definitely seems like the Wash, though, they've put some pressure on the brakes. They've realised that it's just been kind of rough for a long time now. Like, they've just lost several engagements in a row, despite the fact of how well their laning phase went. Definitely shaking them up a little bit. Looks like actually a few members of Anime coming down towards this bot to try and get this freebie kill onto NFD. Gurgtard gonna lead the charge here. Actually even uses Mortimer's Kisses just to make sure there's no chance that this little hoodwink can survive. You know, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to hold this ability for to like go for team fights, because team fights are not really what Anime are looking to go for. They're just going for pickoffs. So using this skill for that sort of purpose is completely fine. So what's the Wash actually waiting for here to go? I mean, there's a Dagon queued up for High Sakuras next, but it's not really nothing that you have to wait for before you can try and go for another engagement. Limbu, he's got the Shard queued up as well as BKB. So we'll see which one he's actually going to decide to prioritize here. Obviously, yeah, the Shard pretty good versus the Sand King, but the BKB just be very, very nice at actually dodging out the stuns from the Sand King and the Snapfire, as well as the slows and such involved. Could be a pretty decent pickup. I think there was one being built from Grim as well. He actually decided to go for a Shadow Blade first. Got a BKB queued up after that. But Panda, oh, he actually managed to get the spin off. Not decided to go for the TP because obviously there is that bash there from Limbo that can get the grab onto him. Oh, but the Sharpshooter, it lands for NFD, denying the escape from Panda, who made a pretty good effort. Nearly got out of there. No fan of the E-Blade on Haisu. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense, to be honest. Especially he just gets the free Shroud anyway with the, what do you call it, the Death Seeker. I guess he just wants to split as much as possible. Who knows? I suppose actually it's a pretty good combo with the Grimstroke, right? You get the double hit from the E-Blade as well as the double hit from the Death Seeker. So that would be a hell of a lot of damage, to be fair. I don't think we've actually seen it happen yet. But with this second Roche, the Wash once again getting aggressive. There is actually a dust that finds Grim, but he's going to immediately try and go on towards the Ursa Bear. They can't quite commit for it. Still too close to that tier 2, and everyone from Anime is ready to roll. All 5 of them were there, just in case the entirety of the Wash made the big dive just for the bear alone. Baitable limb. Looks like they're going to change their target, though, to go for this tier 2 at the bot. Just a casual Dagon there for Haisakuras to farm up. Because why not? I mean, you regen the mana pretty much instantaneously. Just a relatively big cooldown for it. So if you know there's not going to be a fight in that 35 seconds, then yeah, maybe it doesn't matter. The glyph has actually been popped to delay this, but it's not going to be enough to force them away from the tower. They will just stand there and beat into it regardless. So maybe the Wash can try and go for another aggressive move, as they know that glyph is now unavailable. And a pause actually coming out from Grim. No reason specified. Yeah. No one's even asking for an excuse. This is very rare. Normally in RD2L, you get people like, wah, what are you pausing for? Give me a reason. But absolutely nothing. He just says sorry, go, and it just goes. This is very strange. I mean, there's been a lot of tips and such, but not really much big voice chat going on. Probably his dog. He's got a very needy dog, I suppose. It makes sense. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what language it is, but clearly Haisakuras does not approve. Once again, tier 2 getting pressured up in this mid lane. But everyone from Anime, they're just skirting around the outsides. Panda actually now going to jump onto Limbo, but he gets that Blink Dagger off before he can get hit. And he will just back on out. It's the F1. What's the F1? Oh, never mind. Whilst that's going on, they do land the pushback onto Mash. He's able to get his ult before it happens. The use of the Shadow Grave was forced out from Batsfimi onto itself. But out comes the Reaper's Scythe. It kills Mash, takes him out of this fight. And immediately, Haisakuras is trying to get himself into the depths of the remainder of Anime. The jump force there for Limbo. He gets the first stun. The bushwhack onto Panda as well. He's getting pretty low. But now he's going to turn around with the Omni Slash. There's no one there to share for Limbo, but it doesn't matter. He actually gets saved there from the E-Blade of the Necrophos that keeps him alive for now. But the first life of the Ursa has already been done. Immediate stun as soon as he comes out of it, but no other follow-up. They're in retreat now. There's not too much else they can do. It looks like Anime want to carry on pressing forwards. It's a 4 versus 4. But the Wash do not want to commit themselves any further. They do just decide to fall back. It's very chaotic fights. Why they pick the Dazzle? I think it was literally just for the Necrophos to try and go for like a shallow grave afterwards. I mean, the same sort of thing could have been achieved with like a Shadow Demon, but I think it's still fine. Like the Dazzle was very, very strong in the laning phase, but their lane was pretty poop. They just got ran down by Limbo and NFD. Wasn't much that they could do about it. Oh, Grim trying to go for a solo move here on the Panda, but there's everyone here from the side of Anime. They're waiting for the Ursa Bear. His rage is about to wear off, but regardless, the rest of Wash does come in to lend a helping hand. But actually get this first on to go touch as well as the bushwhack. He's dead. No Sand now for the rest of this fight. They will push the Ursa away. Panda actually maybe want to get involved. The Sob one though has already been used. No sort of link. They can't hold him in place. He does just go for the spin TP out as Limbu's not there to get the bash. But regardless, they pick off the bear. 300 gold, I think, went over towards Limbu. And now there's actually no Spirit Bear for another 66 seconds. Is there anything that the Washed can do to capitalize on this? They might just try and push in this tier 2 tower as their creep wave is coming in. And there is no glyph available to stop this from happening. Is this NFD game? Yeah, he's on the hood.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Anime, quite rightly, not going to decide to contest this tier 2. They will just let it fall. There's nothing they can do about it. So it's just their tier 2 remaining in the mid. Maybe they'll decide to go for that one instead rather than push up high ground. It's a little bit too risky at this stage in the game. Especially seeing how like Epicenter, Mortimer's Kisses are all up and ready to use from Anime. So they could easily take a successful fight. So yeah, they're going to change their priority towards the mid. Try and close out the final tier 2. Meanwhile, they themselves, their side is looking very healthy. Still got a tier 1 at the bot. Tier 2 top and mid, full HP, not even been touched. But still Panda, he's getting farm across the map. He's only slightly behind that of Grim, just over 1,000 gold. It's not like he's, lagging behind at all. It's pretty much just this difference between Hysakuras and Mash. It's like 8,000 gold difference, which is, yeah, a huge factor of this 12k lead that they do actually have at the moment. And what level is this Dagon now? He's level 3 Dagon. He actually got a Kaya queued up with the Dagon recipe, so I don't know if he's going to prioritize going for level 5 Dagon or not, or if he might actually decide to swap out. I think the Kaya would be a wiser choice, as the magic damage amplification just works with everything else as well as the Dagon. So yeah, definitely makes sense to grab this item first. Man's just a farming machine, just constantly plowing down lanes, grabbing all the CS from himself. Rugurgitard, though, will snipe this wave at the top, at least. Got to be careful, though. Limbu and Chupacabra are here. Still no shard actually here for Limbu, though. So he will just make it out alive. Meanwhile, the rest of Anime moving out as for... I guess they thought they could try and get a wrap onto Hyasakura if he carried on pushing forwards, but he fell back into his own jungle at the right time. Probably just saved his own life. So I guess the Washed are just waiting for the next Roshan. Want that number 3 to get up before they attempt to go in for like risky high ground pushes, especially against like the superior team fight that Anime do have. Well, actually, they might try and go for a kill there. I thought maybe they might go for a jump onto Grim with the entrance there from Gurgitard. They might be able to do it, but I guess they didn't really have much information about where the rest of the Washed is. So it would have been a risky one to go for. NFD actually going for like the first major item of an Aghanim Scepter. We'll just get that big extra magic damage amplification, which then just works even more with the damage amp that the Necrophos has gone for. So it's going to be a hell of a lot of burst damage here. I don't know if this works with Soulbind, because it is a targetable ability, but it hits multiple things in a curvature. I don't know. I've never actually seen that interaction before, so I'll try and keep my eyes out, see if we can see how that one actually unfolds. That would be interesting. Roshan, pretty long respawn timer actually. 2.5 minutes still before it rears its ugly head. Jamie says it doesn't work. One of you says it probably does work. There is a... Is it like guaranteed it doesn't work, Jamie? Because there are some things which like have strange interactions in this game when they don't. Dota's not that consistent when it comes to like skill interactions. It's an awkward one. So Anime are just constantly grouped up as 5, just playing very, very defensively in case like there's any aggressive move coming out from the Wash. But I mean, whilst they're all just constantly huddled together, there's just so much map efficiency being found here from the dire sides. Like, they're just farming up their own triangle, farming up the Radiant jungle, farming up their own jungle. Just huge amounts of net worth advantage being funneled into their team at the moment. I guess they just want to stay in this area in case it's like a fast Roshan and they can actually react to it. Because if they give this third Roshan over, it's just going to be really, really difficult to turn this game around. Especially seems how it's either going to be an Ags Rosh or a Refresher Shard Rosh. Both pretty annoying to play up against. You hating on the Shadow Blade on the Ursa? It's interesting. I think most people generally just go for a Blink Dagger, right? I think that's the standard item. There's a couple of skills that you can get when he eventually turns it into a Silver Edge. Like the blade hit from the Jug and such, but nothing too like overly valuable. Ooh, the All Scepter just in time to avoid the Bushwhack. Even actually dodged the Boomerang, but still Limbu's on the charge. Trying to focus up onto Regurgitar as best he possibly can. He will get him with the second bash with the Blink Dagger forwards. DmWp does get a jump to low grounds. Meanwhile, though, Batsfimi as well as Mash did get a kill there on Supercard, but they're trying to retreat into the trees. Mash, though, does manage to get his arm off, bushwhacked as well as stunned, but the fear is going to be there to try and force it back for as long as possible. Hexed as well as rooted. He pops their BKB as the rage, so the Omni Slash is coming out. High Secure tanks up most of it as well. He already had that Ghost Rider active, avoids some majority of damage, but he's standing in place. He gets annihilated. The Epicenter on top of him just annihilates him out. Batsfimi getting targeted by Grim, but can't find it. The Shallow Grave saves him. He falls, and now down goes Limbo as well. 4 kills there coming out from Anime. Not lose. Actually, they did lose 1, right? But I think it was a buyback. Yeah, they did buy back on Regurgitard, but regardless, it's a 4-for-1 trade, like 5,000 gold swing, and Roshan respawning to boot. That is a huge fight. Absolutely massive. With a free Ags as well. Who did they just give this over to? It's kind of nice on Panda. You know, you get that mini slash, the swift slash. I don't think you really care about this the Ags on the Lone Druid at this point. The Ags on Batsfimi is kind of cool. You don't really see it make that much of an appearance though, because it refreshes item cooldown. So it could give you like 2 Manta styles, and if like he eventually builds a BKB and such, it would be pretty damn big. But obviously they do decide to go for like the standard play, hand it over towards the Jug. And now, the big counter-attack coming out. The tier 2's already been removed. And they're going to try and pressure up to high ground. The glyph has already been used, so they can't just pop that to force them away from this. But the respawns are coming up pretty soon. 4 seconds. And then the Necro will be here. But it doesn't look like Anime that deterred. They're still pressuring forwards. The Silent comes out. Hits onto the Juggernaut with the full-up stun. Oh, but a nice double stun there from Gogard. Denies the grab, but the Reaper's Hive getting the first kill onto the Jug. Obviously, he has that Aegis. It's going to be back up. They're focused onto the bear. It will get removed. It's on cooldown, so you can't just bring it back in. And immediately, as soon as the Jug's back up, he's gone. Just annihilated. There is going to be the quick escape there from Gogard. Burrow Striker down to the low ground. But regardless, it's in complete disarray here from Anime. Definitely overstaying their welcome. I mean, luckily, there is a buyback available for the Jug. I mean, it's going to be rough if they're forced to use it. The Grim is still chasing after this Snapfire, but with the Sentry, he sees him coming. Gets that Glimmer off. Cookie's down to low ground. Yeah, there's nothing the Grim could do to catch up. I mean, if he had this, if he had a Blink Dagger instead of the Shadow Blade, he probably could have killed him. And now another pause coming out. Oh, okay, it's actually a DC. Never mind. It's a worthwhile pause this time. Soulbound Boomerang works for damage? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a little bit too ballsy to just full on commit. Actually, did he actually DC whilst that was happening? Because I mean, he was just stood there auto attacking onto the buildings with the ghost on him, so he was permanently silenced up. He couldn't react with the spin. And sometimes, like, there were disconnections. Like, it does actually show they're disconnected until, like, a few seconds after. So, I don't know. It's a weird one. Oh, they're just talking comms? So, put on some music, because there's obviously pause time.
Oh, check out this guy. What a baller.
Oh, cheers for the follow, RumbleX, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And there you go. With the silence, you heard it that time. What a good voice line that was, right? Fucking pristine, mate. Pristine. But yeah, cheers for the Prime sub, man. If there's no went Radiance, I will report him. Yeah, I mean, Radiance not really that big in this game, so it makes sense not to go for it. I mean, I can see why he's gone for the E-Blade instead. Like, yeah, just the combo with the Soulbind and such, very, very strong. But I don't think I've actually seen a strong Soulbind Reaper Scythe combo yet. It's always been single targets.
Is it spring already? Is it spring already?
Oh, that is too good.
So what's going to be the play here from the Wash? Are they just going to carry on going in? They're actually underway. So it looks like they are huddling around the mid-tier 2. Probably going to be their next target. Creeps are still a little far away, so backdoor protection going to linger for a while yet. But I think even if they go for this tier 2, there's no way that Anime is going to respond to it. Like, you don't want to force out your position 1 buyback just to save a mid-tier 2. Like, nah, bum that. Let it die. Take it. Take the tower. Who gives a shit? Probably not enough time for the Wash to push for anymore, so they will decide to fall back. Probably going to be like an immediate smoke, I would imagine, from Anime as soon as this Jug is back up. Go for another aggressive play. See if they can get a nice pick-off to, once again, level the playing field. But, I mean, this net worth lead has just been going all over the place this game. It's not too all over the place, but at one point it was a solid... What's that? 16,000? Something like that. Yeah, 16k gold lead. Been brought down to 9 now. But I guess, once again, the Washed are just going to be waiting for the 4th Roshan before they really feel comfortable going for another push. Still got a long time to wait for that. A very long time to wait. A very minimum 5 minutes. But once again, they're just going to be constantly getting the most out of the map. Just farming up as much as they possibly can, spreading out. Meanwhile, the entirety of Anime just forced the turtle in their base. Okay, they are actually now going to go for all this smoke play. Let's see who they end up running into. Which direction they go. If they head down towards the south, they bump into the Necro, but they're actually going to change direction towards the north. The Chupacabra was there. Blasphemy shows himself. He hits that 1 sentry ward, so they know immediately where they are. And actually, in comes the stun. They got the first initiative onto Limbo. He pops his BKB, trying to retreat, but they get the pushback onto Lone Druid and the Bear. They hold him back. Limbo's still pretty low, but he's not going to go back. But the Omni Slash just gets dumped onto his face. He will be removed. Grim's trying to focus up now onto Panda. I think he needs some help. There is going to be Yules holding him back for now. He still needs some extra help. Chupacabra gets caught, but the Inxo actually saves it for now. No, never mind. As soon as it's over, he just gets immediately removed. Grim stand his ground. He's in between everyone. Popped in his BKB. He's going to try and focus back onto Panda, but there's so many slows and such. He can't get on top of anybody. The spin just being constant, relentless, flying around in circles. His rage does end, and so does his life. Meanwhile, in the background, High Sakuras did get a pick off there onto Batsfemi, but it's just onto that Dazzle. And now I think he's just dead. There's no way he can retreat out of this. Nullifier immediately removing the Ghost Shroud. Oh, maybe get a return kill onto WP, but no, never mind. Too much stun control. Nothing he could do. So it's a 4-for-1 trade yet again, going into the favor of Anime here. Solid 5.1k gold swing. And just another failed fight from the Washed. He's just all over the place. It looked like NFD nearly got a solo kill there onto Regurgitard, but unfortunately not quite enough to get him. And now, once again, Anime gonna barrel down this mid to see if they can actually finish off the mid set of barracks yet. There's no buyback available for the Ursa. But there is one available for the Necro, which will be forced to use that. Is that actually going to be enough to deter them away? And yes, it will. So I guess they, even though it's like 24 seconds without the Ursa guaranteed, well, they don't actually know that he doesn't have a buyback. That definitely makes sense. Like, if he just buys back in the middle of it, it could easily get him killed. Speaking about getting killed, NFD, Gogtod's on him. He has to use his Scurry, but he has no man left to use anything else. Ooh, how's in the trees? Does he have camouflage? Okay, he actually went for the shot bounces instead of camouflage. I don't think he actually mad, because I think he had dust on him regardless, but he does just die. At least he could say, you know, Space Crate, it pulled him away from the base. But we want Limbu. He's stalking Panda here. He needs to get stolen and equipped, because everyone else inside of Anime already responding. Panda actually now using his spin aggressively there onto Limbu, forcing him away. Regurgitard's off to the side. Gonna now actually trying to queue up onto the Epicenter. He actually jumps forwards before Grim can get their blink hit and deny the blink. So it looks like Chupacabra will still end up dying here. The Reaper Sub gets dropped on the side. He actually finds a kill to Panda. The Jug has actually already been taken out here. The Grim is just in full retreat away from Mash, but he's not actually able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Limbu was left on his own, and he still actually ends up dying. So it's a 2-for-1. They get that big kill of the Jug. They actually also expend a buyback there on NFD.
All wrapped up for takeaway.
Ooh, he actually just bought an item, so he doesn't have buyback. But I think regardless, they can't really do much anyway. They're missing 2 heroes themselves. That's probably why he decided to just buy the relic. With his own nullifier now up. So a nullifier on him as well as Mash. So multiple ways of dealing with the Necrophos in this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
Take it down the
tower
tier 2 at the top. Just the tier 2 at the bottom that's still left standing there from the Washed. Roshan, potentially 50 seconds away. Both teams will obviously have their full roster available once that actually, well, I mean, potentially respawns. I think we've only had long timers so far. We haven't really been able to jump on it as of yet.
Gold and sweet.
Gurk's actually going for the old Wind Waker as well. Or the Wind Whacker, as I like to call it. Whack that wind. Good and proper. So now the lead has just been cut down to a less than 1,000 gold advantage. And actually the first time for a relatively long time, the win probability is back into the favor of Anime. 70% now. So definitely feeling quite confident in this first game now. They've weathered most of the storm. Like, the real threat was like the early parts for the Washed, where they just dominated all of the lanes and were just super, super powerful after that phase. But now the Lone Druid's starting to come online. Panda's definitely coming online. It feels like their real big momentum timing is starting to fall behind here.
eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
I don't think either side is like particularly stronger when it comes to ultra late game. Like, all of these heroes do scale quite well. Roshan, ooh, that's actually a pretty quick respawn time. I think it was like just about a minute in total. That's up in 15. The illusions from Panda are not actually going to be able to survive that long. So they have to send someone over here to actually scout it out. Oh, Limbu, if he just stuck around for a few more seconds, he would have actually scouted out there for his team. But already there is actually favourable vision for Anime here so far. Oh, actually, Jump Force Gurgitard. He's going to try and pressure high security. He's got the nullifier on him. He's just trying to run away, but Mortimer's kisses are there. All the long range pressure. And he's just gone. He's actually just dead. Recoco now actually used the epi jumping pass, going on to Chupacabra. Doesn't actually manage to finish him up, but even still, Mash will actually do that instead. 2 heroes already gone from the Washed here. And that is in full retreat. A buyback is there for the Grim, but obviously the Necro had already used his in that previous high ground defense. They've gone for 100 seconds. They're going for tier 4s. They want to end. There is a glyph at least. It's going to hold them back, but there is that healing ward, so these towers not actually doing anything about it. And now it comes to Soulbind. Grim maybe thinking about getting involved, but there's nothing they can do. They can't overcommit. Sharpshooter just hits Regurgitard casually in the back lines, but not really doing so much. And now they get focused immediately on Smash. Can Grim actually get it done? Another stun there from Regurgitard, lock them all in place. The Beacon Beast there for Limbo. Chupacabra still gets taken out from Panda. Too much AoE damage. WB's getting focused up, but still the Force After there. He's saved. Grim's gone. Limbo's gone. There's going to be the buybacks. Can they survive this? All the towers are gone. And the Ancient is evaporating. It's all over. They did it. They actually ended up taking this game. Absolutely incredible turnaround there from DmWp versus Anime. Taking game number 1. But what an absolute fantastic game. It was incredibly hectic at the start. It was like, yeah, like I say, it was 9-28 in the advantage of the Washed at the very beginning. Like, they had all the momentum into their favor, but just some really well-taken fights there from Anime. Just turned the whole game around. They got their items online. And yeah, just didn't seem like there was really much that the Wash could do after that point. They just got completely outpaced. So well done. Game number 1 going towards Anime there. Game number 2 will be coming up pretty damn soon. But if you guys have enjoyed this game like us, please follow me on my Twitch or YouTube, or even subscribe, because that is an option now.
Oh, what a baller!
And there is a sub. Thank you, Rinku. I appreciate that, man. You are a baller indeed, sir. A baller indeed. But yeah, game number 2 will be coming up very, very soon.